Focus is the difference between being an ideas person and being a successful person.
We are here today with none other than Mr. Andrew McUtchen. Thank you so much.
Did we just start?
I think so. We're just starting now.
That's
there you
a rolling
go.
start. I like that.
He is, I don't even know where to start. Founder of Time and Tide, Australian, father of two.
Three.
Fitness fanatic. These are not in order. They're not in order. We can maybe rank them. Fitness fanatic, no days off. Watch collector, connoisseur maybe. Anything else? Am I missing anything else that's core to your identity?
Come on, how do you boil a person down to an intro? I mean, I do it every single day. So plus an extra child. You left 33% of my children out. So
cancel me now. Kick me out.
Neve, please apologise to Neve.
Sorry, Neve. Neve, I sincerely hope we meet one day, and I will give you a gift or something to say sorry. Don't hate me. How old are your children?
They are 12, 11 and 10.
Oh, that's brutal that I missed one of those out. It's not even like newborn.
No, blessedly, there's a window in the year when their birthdays line up so that I just get to have the 12, 11, 10. The other time it's like 12, 11, 9.
So what's the household like? So it's 4 women?
4 women, a cat who's been spayed. Which also is something we have in common. I didn't want the cat, but I am so grateful for that.
Do you it's always the way.
I love him, he loves me. The girls are super annoyed that I was the one that didn't want the cat and he's just attached to me. Yep. But it's just because we need each other. I've gotten used to having a girl gang, but the cat is just, as soon as I get home, he runs to me and doesn't do it with anyone else. So he's worn me down and now I have a little buddy.
I bet you cuddle when you go home. I've got this vision.
There's a bit of that. There's a bit of that. I say I don't pick him up, but if he jumps on me, I don't tell him to get off. So.
Yeah, exactly. Was the cat an Australian import or London born?
No, what I've had to do to relocate from Australia to here successfully with a very big majority of girls who didn't necessarily want to come is I've had to bribe them along the way. So I said, if we last a year, I'll get you a cat. And then if we last a second year, I might have said something else stupid that they've forgotten. So let's not remind them about the second year. But no, the cat came quite recently actually. We delayed it until we had a 3-year lease. But this is my English spread as well as my family here, my team here at the Discovery Studio. There's a big group of people around me, mostly guys in here, so I balance it out. Okay. But there's an increasing number of women in the Time and Tide team, which is also good.
I love that you were like, I needed some guys.
I need some guys.
Needed some guy time.
And I come in and you see this big man hug.
So from Australia, when did you move here? Like full time? Because Time and Tide started in Australia, right?
It started in Australia in 2014. And we moved here in January 2023. And
so 9 years in?
Yeah, it was very long, nearly a decade.
Realize that.
Yeah, it was really long. And when we moved here, it was under the guise of a trial. We're going to go and try London. But I didn't have a choice because at that point, I was traveling 5 months a year. Wow. I'd written a book on fatherhood called The Fatherhood, which is like the neighborhood. It's a neighborhood for dads called The Fatherhood. So I pulled together interviews with Mark Wahlberg, Hugh Jackman, big dad figures. Bluey, the founder of Bluey. Any dad or mum out there now is just like, Bluey, anyone that doesn't have kids is like,
is that the TV show?
Yeah, with the little dog.
Okay.
His name is Joe Blum. He's the founder of Bluey. So I interviewed all these great dads. Me and a team interviewed these dads. Really cool. And we did a book about modern fatherhood. So I'd literally written the book on fatherhood and I was being the world's worst dad. So we came over here with the guise of, hey, let's see if we like it. We landed on Australia Day in 2023. I've never told the story. It was snowing and it was the most beautiful winter scene, like Love Actually kind of stuff. We're in the park in Chiswick House and everything is white and it's crisp and beautiful and it's snowing and the girls were just like, okay, this is different. And it was the first time we'd been to Europe together. So yeah, that's where it started. And then the trial of 3 months, they then went back to Australia. We settled up, came back in July of 2023, and we've been here ever since.
Wait, so you stayed, and then your wife and kids went back?
They went back. I stayed for. That was the first time I met Usain Bolt. I had this crazy.
What a way to start!
I stayed for a European summer, and then went back for like a month, and then just so I could shepherd them all onto the plane, and then we got back on the plane and came back and. Yeah, it's been nearly 2.5 years.
That is what to do. When you came here, was the plan to open Time and Tide straight away? What was
No, I was just, honestly, I came here thinking that Time and Tide Media could expand, or that I could relocate and build a small team here. We already had a studio in Australia that was in development, and then when that opened and it went well, there was just a thought in the back of my mind, imagine if we did it on a bigger stage. And then I went to British Watchmakers Day and launched the pizza watch with Richard.
Yes, that was huge.
And it was a frenzy, and I called my global general manager and my CFO from the middle of the mayhem.
What?
And said, we got to go, we got to do this. This is, there's more than enough people here.
So that was the moment, really?
It was the moment, and it was like not just, I mean, the UK is in the top 7, 6, sometimes 5 markets for watches. So it's clearly got a viable business case. But that was just one of those feeling moments of just momentum and unanimity. And I saw very particular support for micro brands in this space, and this sense of a growing, of a building wave. And being there with Richard in the silly apron with the chef's hat on, right? and the little red neckerchief, and the line that went just around the block for this pizza watch, the hand delivered. It just was a moment where I was like, I just have to keep playing this game. Yeah. Because I'm on a level now that I just didn't even know existed. I don't even know if it's a level as in going up levels, or like, did I go sideways, or where am I? But this is just the best. And again, there's a childlike sort of energy to the way this company has grown that feels like a real privilege, because business is often just these really white knuckle risk moments and like, oh, are we gonna do this? But there's a magic about Time and Tide that has started to sort of filter down since we moved to the UK, because I've had so many moments like this in this space as well, where it's just like, wow, this is just way beyond what I imagined. And you've been at some of these moments. Many of these moments.
One or two. I mean, one of the things that really struck me actually is it's the whole point of this. I mean, there's so many YouTubes out there, podcasts, whatever. All this is for me is documenting the people that are fucking passionate, awesome. And that when I walked into this watch world 12 months ago, there are some people that just, actually so many people.
It feels like so much longer than that.
It does. I think that's because I pester you, but that's fine, and turn up at everything. They just put their arms around me. But more than that, I was like, hey, welcome. But more than that, the sort of like, the watch world, this isn't my real job. Like this is me sort of skiving off work all the time. I hope no one sees that. But it's true, right? The thing that actually excites me is building businesses, and no one really thinks about it. It's so easy to walk into the space and be like, well, obviously Time and Tide is here. Well, obviously all the details are perfect. Well, obviously there's micro brands everywhere. Well, obviously everyone comes to all the events. But what no one sees and no one stops to think about is the pain behind it, is the, like you said, the white knuckle moments, the money, the sort of late nights when you're like, what have I done? Well, because it's not always perfect. So actually that's the thing, I think, when you think about this one wild, crazy little life, the people that go, fuck it, I'm going to do something.
There's only one thing that gets me back to sleep when I get really stressed, and there's an Alan Watts monologue.
What a man.
He's a great man, and just there's something about his philosophical takes that are just red hot. And he's got one of them where he just said, what are we here to do if not play this game? And what other option do we have? Chris Hemsworth talks about reframing the nervousness and his stage fright as excitement, and now he can enjoy stage fright. And I feel the same way about stress and about the pressure of what we're doing, is that if I reframe it as a positive form of stress and a positive form of tension that leads to progress and to another level of the game, then great. Because again, if not this, then what? I hold with a shop in Australia and stay there, and I couldn't keep doing that. I couldn't play the game from Australia because I had to keep traveling. Should I hold on London? But New York is so close, 6 hours away. There's momentum that's built from here. There's investors wanting to join the journey, wanting to push the journey forward. So no, but whether it goes beyond New York, I'll honestly tell you that I feel almost a sense of trepidation about when people go, what next? As if there's like some sort of like
you're on a bit of a treadmill that everyone wants more from you.
Well, it's more just like, I guess you just think that if it works in the two biggest markets, then it's definitely scalable. Whereas I have some sort of block of just focus is everything. And 100%. Focus is the difference between being an ideas person and being a successful person. My focus stops at New York.
Something we talk about, and I'm fairly sure you'll think about, is the difference between passion or dedication and discipline, and they are not the same. Everyone can achieve anything if you had a bucket of passion or dedication or motivation. But what's really hard is the days you don't want to do it. So what keeps you? You've got Australia, London. Why New York?
I think of it like sport. If you're training and you are the best in Australia, that's great. But you need to play in the Commonwealth Games. So then you become a competitor in the UK. And again, Esquire were kindly telling us within a few months this is the best watch shop in the UK.
It's nuts. It is unbelievably nuts.
In terms of the again, not transactional, a good experience, staff that will meet you at your level.
100%.
So again, not best in any sort of, again, we're certainly the smallest revenue retail business for watches maybe in the world.
But you're playing a different game.
We're playing a different game and we have different benchmarks, and I would say that the Commonwealth Games was achieved, but then if you've got, I'm a naturally competitive person as well. I'm super competitive.
I would never have guessed.
I can't do anything for fun.
You and Justin Hatz comparing biceps is my very first memory of you. So,
oh my God, I apologise.
I reserve judgment on who won that. But
Justin by a mile, by like 3 times.
It was just a good angle. It was a good angle.
It was all an angle. It was a stitch up. But no, in watches, it's got to be the States. Like that's the big league. It's the biggest market in the world. They're hungry for micro brands. The best quote about the Discovery Studio ever was also from Johnny at Esquire, who said it's a town square for watch lovers.
Love that.
And there's a place people can congregate. And in America, without that place, there's two motivations for me. Number one is to build community, and number two is to build a business. And the community side comes from my dad, who was a Uniting Church minister. So we both had religious upbringings.
No way, I did not know this.
So I grew up going from village to village and town to town in country Victoria with a dad who would build communities around the Christian faith. So the Uniting Church. So, and this just became normal to me, that you would come somewhere, everyone would congregate in your living room and you'd have progressive dinners. The door would always be open to people who would come with all kinds of problems. This is my home all the time. And in the church, like because the manse was attached to the church. So I just grew up thinking it was normal to be a part of a big community all the time. The digital context we live in now is even more disconnected. So the physical coming together around anything, whether it's religion or watches, I had to do it. I had to find another way. And that's why there's this natural ease for me to be in this place where people come and gather. People are like, don't you get drained? Isn't it tiring having people around you all the time? I love it. This is what I think is normal.
You were shaped by, I mean, that's got to shape a person. That's got a religious upbringing and a lot of sort of Christian values, all that sort of thing into community. It's got to shape how, even in ways you won't even realise.
It just shapes my expectations, and I just wondered why at different times I felt really kind of cut off. And it's because, oh man, for the first like 15 years of your life or 16 years, you had this plug-in community that you were part of. I became irreligious. I lost interest in religion after going to Africa and seeing how others in the world live. That made it difficult for me to consider some sort of a God figure. But I still thought that the one thing religion gets right is community.
Do you know what? You've actually hit the nail on the head to something that I personally love about this. I've never actually said it to you. It's quite like an internal monologue of my own. And I think as we get older, you get more comfortable. And this is why I think things like this are really great when it's not about the polish. There's no commercial angle here. This is actually just two people having a chat. Is something that shaped my life very much was growing up on a council estate. Growing up, I never owned anything. It was very aspirational, which therefore meant going to a watch shop was like, I remember getting up to Beaverbrook, Summer Trafford Centre. I was about 15. And I just couldn't go in because I felt I didn't belong. I never went into a watch shop. I remember moving to London and my friend was like, we guys go to Patek, he collects, and I was like, I can't, like I just, they'll know I don't belong there, which is crazy. And I would only say about 2.5, 3 years ago, it was IWC that really broke that down for me. And what I think this place does is it breaks that down immediately. And what it does also so well, almost to a little bit of a fanatical kind of concerns viewpoint, is people are so intense about the community. I remember coming to an event, it was Blancpain, and there was some guys in that corner, and I just trundled over in the way I do, and was like, hey, I don't get these watches that you're obsessed with. Like, can you help me? And he just looked at me, and it was like a 45-minute monologue on this like massive, I can't even remember what the watch was, but I was interested because he was interested. And that to me is that when you get this vociferous, passionate energy in a room, and you could tell everyone here, maybe 50% aren't going to buy, right? That's not about buying. And that sense of community, especially when you're disjointed from, Australia or your home or whatever, people get addicted to it, and people need it in this world that we're in now.
I need it. I'm going to be cynical now and change it up, because the community will take from you as much as you will give, and they will leave you an empty husk. And that will just be, there won't be any looking back from the people that enjoy your hospitality. So in Australia, we started a club at one point, and again, I created a community, but I had no way of monetizing that space or that exchange. So community is a double-edged sword. It isn't just a lovely, sentimental, goodwill flavored topic. Like community has various caveats in order to be functional and in order to be sustainable. And what's fantastic here is that we have, while it's non-transactional, people come here for things they can't get elsewhere, and their investment in Time and Tide guarantees the sustainability and survival of this space, and I've solved the problem. So I think at other times I might have been misty-eyed saying, oh, we've got a Time and Tide club and look how many thousand members we have, and everyone gets an Erica's original MN strap, and isn't this cool? But at that point, without any way to sort of get an investment from people beyond a small club fee, I became resentful of the dynamic, because everyone absolutely did use the Cremorne Clubhouse for Time and Tide as a hang space, but then they wouldn't, there was no way for me to get an investment back that would sustain it. So I've made all the mistakes. I've definitely, as a sort of a community builder, I have learned a lot over the journey, but this really is the perfect medium. And again, I feel that when I went to Wind Up last year, that was the moment. Same thing again, where I was like, we were hedging, do we do America? And then after Wind Up, and again, seeing that, I need to see cues. I need to feel, I need to be in there with the people, vox popping. What are you so excited about? Why are you queuing? What do you want to see? I vox popped with Zach, and I'm walking around, and there's a video, I think, of me just like, wow, America's just fucking on.
It's unbelievable.
So then you ask why America, also that, and the fact that they're investing, they're buying collections, they're thoughtfully and intentionally building collections, they're showing up for their tribes, and for us to do something useful, like become a 24-hour interface for these people and these brands, as opposed to a once-a-year fair. You're going to walk in, you're going to feel a sense of home if you've been to a Discovery Studio. However, there'll be some really interesting new additions and layers to the experience.
So all to be revealed. To be revealed.
I'll keep that one. I'll keep that one to my chest.
I tried. I tried.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I will tell you. So there's a mezzanine level in New York. That literally sits above the sort of the fray. I was standing there thinking, what does this present? This is a different, demarcated physical space. So it just occurred to me that my own tastes are evolving, my budget's increasing for watches. It happens like a slow drip. I saw at Watches and Wonders, I can give you some B-roll, Frank Geelan from Monochrome and I, again, typical Andrew and Frank behavior, but we just put an open tab on a bar up in the old town.
Love that.
Threw around some burgers, and it was just like, hey, no more champagne, no more canapes, it's beer and burgers, and let's just get our watches out, do a sex pile on the table, which is not as filthy as it sounds. Nowhere near as fun as it sounds, because your watches get scratched. It's actually, sometimes a sex pile is not a good idea.
We must be going to different events.
We are going to different events, and so we had this, and there's a real need to just untuck and just let it out.
Just relax.
And what happened was I was a little bit hijacked at this event by this brand called Fam Al Hut. They came up and said, I have.
Oh, for God's sake, Andrew, you're in so deep.
Please look at this watch. And I'm just like, oh man, I don't want to get hijacked right now. But I put it on, and I was like,
thing is nuts.
Damn, how much? And 32 grand US. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, and I'm just doing the mental sums thinking, what is the next most affordable bi-axis tourbillon?
Right.
153K.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is in fact a studio underdog of high complications. I then
the mental gymnastics you're doing right now.
No, I'm doing. It's like three-dimensional chess. I'm thinking, A, how am I going to buy this personally? B, how am I going to engineer the Discovery Studio concept to accommodate a brand at this level? C, how does this fit with our ethos?
Yeah.
And then when I was like, this is the studio underdog of high comps, I'm like, ooh, there's a pathway here.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a physical space at that time so when I'm standing on this higher level, I was like, higher level, higher horology. I then started thinking about a customer journey where you walk up the stairs and there's this, and then you get in and there's that. And I called Lucas from Fan Mail Hut and said, and he's like, please don't try and order it. He's a really punchy rock star sort of guy. He's not particularly friendly. Lucas, you're great,
mean,
but he's just the tone of the first chat was like, whoa, this guy's. I'm somehow like pitching him, even though I thought that him hijacking my event was then pitching me. But we had this chat, and then we've ended up securing a deal to be their distributor in America.
Oh, that's nuts.
So yeah. And then the price is now 42.
Yeah, so it's creeping up, isn't it? It's creeping up.
It's gone up. What is that? That's 35% already because the demand's so high. So there will be an evolved concept where we have higher end brands, higher prices, higher horology in America.
Yeah.
And that to me is also very adapted to the watch literacy in America.
100%.
I would say that it's
leagues above.
America and Asia are in a league of their own in terms
100%.
of when you talk about a bi-axis tourbillon to an American, they're like they immediately understand two planes. They immediately understand what engineering madness is needed to create a new bi-axis tourbillon movement. So yeah, there's going to be some new stuff in America.
That's huge. So when do they officially sort of kick off with you?
Well, they kick off with us when we kick off with the world.
So it's from day one. You're going to have everything in.
Yeah. Well, and there'll be some other brands that we'll announce over time up there.
Okay.
But I'm also on the hunt. Like I have built it, and they have come, and I have learned that I will not spend time pitching brands anything anymore.
Okay.
Just come in and have a look, and just I'd rather just have. So we start with a few brands up there, and they're all going to be at a high horology, high price level. Another brand is that we will have Toledano and Chan up there.
That'd be cute. I mean, you've been there from the start as well. It makes so much sense. So much sense.
Buying the OG.
Another event I was there at.
Yes, that was.
I think I got told off. Me and Justin were talking or something. Actually, I think that was one of the days I got told off.
Yes. Please just let the speech happen. Listen to Phil Toledano speak. He's amazing. That was one of my top 3 events. But yeah, look, a brand like that, I just love I love having a reason. I love having an excuse to contact Phil about anything. So,
an excuse is a big word in the watch world. Like the mental acrobatics you just did to justify 32 grand, 40 grand, just all of it. The stories we tell ourselves about why we need something, it's truly astounding.
I know.
There should be
I have these other layers of like, yes, I need it and that's great. But also, I just knew that it was somehow on brand, but it isn't on brand in the iteration that the world can see right now.
Yeah.
But it's on brand in the iteration that exists in my mind.
Yeah.
But again, if Broome Street in Soho was on a long, flat, single surface, it might not have actually clicked that this mezzanine could be for higher horology.
Yeah.
So it's taken, again, if you know, and this is a broader philosophical point, if you kind of know what you're looking for in a partner, in a business development, in a watch, and if you're very specific about what that looks like when it appears, you just know.
Yeah, you just go all in on that thing.
I knew that Fan Mail Hut was it, and that I could build around this. So one of the early brands in there, and there's a name it'll be branded a different thing within our ecosystem. So it won't just be the Discovery Studio. There'll be a name for this elevated space.
Well, I can't wait to be there. Yeah. Can't wait to come along.
I know, December. Hopefully December. I mean, this This is my life now at the moment. I'm scared of my phone because like I'm waiting for confirmation. The shop fitters are signed on. Like we're right in the heat of it.
That's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, one of the things that concerns me though, bringing it back to the old watch, is when you brought out that Sundowner. And I'm not a huge, like I like Tag. Monaco was one of my first watches. I love the Monaco.
You missed this, didn't you?
Yeah, don't. It hurts. It's painful. It's painful. But what I've learned about you is actually stay away from you because you bring out watches that I want. And I don't need any more of that in my life.
I have more to show you if you want to see. No. We've got a little pipeline going. Yeah.
Can I just walk away? I think.
No.
What is?
You're trapped.
What? I honestly feel trapped in my own sort of head around. But anyway, before I get into the deep philosophic sort of craziness that goes on inside my mind, what's on the tray, Andrew? What is on the tray?
Oh, what's on the tray? So you asked me to bring some watches,
I did.
And lately I feel like I think more about seasonal colours. It's weird, but because Europe has seasons, I've become more aware of seasons.
Australia, you're not a seasoner usually. It's just some
Australia's
blazing
it's either
heat.
just too fucking hot or too fucking cold. They're the two seasons. So I brought a tray of watches that are appropriate for fall because that's where we're getting to right now.
I love the themes here. Okay.
Yeah. So and they're I don't know. They all have a reason for being. There's a story to each of them, but these are just sort of autumnal toned watches that I really love, and you can just choose where you go.
There's a real
from
consistency
here.
on the strap here.
I know there's consistency on the strap. I should have the Justin Hast Torp collection, but I did think I know Buttersoft. So this is your flight plan. You can choose what you want to talk about here. But I chose some watches that I feel are very fall appropriate, very outfit appropriate for both of us today. But none of I think. Usually you would pull out your best and biggest guns. These are just watches I'm quite fond of.
Do you know what that genuinely is? I'd actually argue more interesting, and I evidence that, is I have Mark Zuckerberg, cool, but I have zero interest in understanding his collection, because the only reason that people are interested is because they are the most expensive, most exclusive watches. Maybe there is a story, and that's fine. There's probably some story there, but that doesn't excite me in the same way as somebody being like, hey, and the money basically isn't the point. The money doesn't make a collection.
No, I just feel like when people posture as well, like I just do it less and less. I really just wear what fits with what I'm wearing. It feels good. And again, I'm in this privileged position where practically every brand on the table, I have a personal connection with the people behind the brand. And now, I just had this great experience with, there's a customer coming in, so don't cut
we're
that.
live here. This is a real normal studio day.
Yep.
Giving you the full experience.
I got to meet the new CEO of Longines yesterday, and I'm just fired up for the brand. This is
nice, actually.
And this is kind of this will be a little bit of a lost generation of watches. This is the Avigation Big Eye Pilot's watch, which is, I think, going to be left behind. These sort of tooly, less finished, like all brushed. Nothing's fancy on the dial, just a matte black dial, pad printed everything. Handset's really quite sort of military style.
Very military.
There's nothing luxury about it. This is a generation that will now move aside because a lot of the aviation watches are going to end up being they're going to have more in common with a Daytona than they do a Type 20. So I've got this here because again, it's sort of it's a bit of a relic. It'll be a modern relic of old Longines. But I wore that because I met the CEO yesterday. So
it's a part of your story as well. Like, did you buy it because of the relationship, or did you buy it before?
I bought it. This is really old. So this is maybe 7 years old.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, I bought it the year it won at GPHG, which was a really unexpected win, actually. Hello, sir.
Hello.
I was surprised that Longines won an award at the GPHG.
So it's pretty wild,
I think it might have even been
it?
a Challenger award or something, but I love this watch.
It reminds me actually of a watch it would have gone perfect with the outfit.
I know.
We both have a deep love for.
Mojave.
It has to be the IWC Mojave Pilot.
And that should be here, but it's in the safe. And again, this is the fact of London life. You were like, bring some watches. I'm like, I can't get to the...
be bothered. Sometimes I can't go to track that.
No. So
what made you buy that?
Oh my goodness. I thought that I'm really here for Chris Granger Ayres IWC, which is, he's so aesthetically driven, he's so architecturally driven.
He's an architect, right?
He's an aesthete, but like his whole thing around coloured ceramic and making that really exclusive, and I can remember them all, the Mojave, the Woodlands green, the Lake Tahoe. Oh, there's the Miramar, that light blue.
The one on the
there's the
denim strap. Yes, everyone remembers the denim. Blue.
It's such a fashion-forward watch, and and it's one that while I think it's a robust IWC that has legitimate aviation heritage and all of things, it's just something about that is fucking fire.
It is unbelievable. I think it's made for the modern consumer with IWC heritage, and not to derail this too much, but I genuinely think Chris Granger, number one, what a gentleman. Again, another
guy.
person.
I love it.
So
brings
energetic.
big energy. That's my thing.
Like at the Christmas party, like same as you, right? I genuinely I turned up at GPHG just for the Eternal Calendar, and his sort of thank you for that. He didn't say those words, but he was so just like, why? And I thought that was amazing, right?
It was the best speech. I actually have footage because Christian Hagen and I were sitting behind him, right behind him at GPHG. And I was able to just reach over and hit him on the shoulder when they won for Eternal Calendar.
What a moment.
And I'd had a text from a celebrity friend who I won't name who just said, why does this watch not get more credit at Watches and Wonders? And I'd sent that text on to Chris saying, you have support from amazing people. Yeah. And to have that validated was super cool. But
unbelievable.
Good guy. And,
great guy.
And again, the Patrick Aoun, who's the new CEO of Longines.
Yeah.
I love this dude's energy. He showed up. He had notes written on all the questions. They'd asked for the questions ahead of time, which I never like to do, but I did it.
But he cared.
And he cared, and he said, everything is on the table, and he had notes for everything, and he was just, let's go. He said, Longines, and he just went straight into it.
Energy is everything.
Fired up, and I just thought, this is great. This is going to be and then of course they dropped the Spirit Collection yesterday, and it is, I feel that brands that have tool watches and evolve them in the right way, like the Tudor, taking that horrible slab-sided 41 that got everyone's attention. I mean, when it first came out, Time and Tide was like 2 years old, maybe 1 year old when Davide Serrato brought back the Black Bay with burgundy, the distressed leather strap. I had never been so struck by a watch launch. So yes, it shook the industry at that time. But the refinement from the 41s, those original 41s, to the 58, to the 54, that's exactly what the Longines have done with the Spirits. But this is still, to me, like a Type 20 super. And I've beaten the hell out of it because it's so, such a beast, but I love it.
It's also, again, something we all forget to do, is just enjoy your watch.
Yeah.
My brother, I gave him...
Stopping the next. Yeah.
Right? It's just, so I got a Studio Underdog a couple of years ago, and I did a half marathon with my brother, and I'd had it at 3 days. Yeah. And he's not a watch guy, and he said, I love that thing. And I didn't give it to him on the day, and it ate me up. So then I spoke to, long story short, I gave it to him. Yeah. And I saw him the next time, and it had no scratches on it, nothing. Come on, mate. And I sat him down, and I was like, Rowan, if I see you next time, and it's not dinged, scratched, you're like, please, I need to service it. I'm going to be really upset with you. And now I get periodic messages of him like, look.
Love tap.
He wears it in the gym. And I was like, I don't care. I gave him a load of straps with it. And he just loves that thing. And that the joy, we were talking before about just giving energy to people, giving my passion to someone I love. That was, you could have said to me, here's a elegant 40 that you could sell for 100 grand, or you get that moment with your brother. I'd have chose the moment every time, because the watch after a while becomes just a watch.
It does, yeah.
But the moment is everything. Or it's actually, I think, who you buy from. I think this is so true.
Can have some energy, residual energy in the watch, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Who you buy from counts. Maybe it counts to me. I actually sold a watch that was, the market value of it was, crazy, and everyone wanted it. I sold it because I had a bad experience. And I told the brand. And it was a big brand we all know. I'm on a long journey with them, and I've come back around, but it matters to me. Maybe I'm too Gen Z, that's why.
No. It definitely...
The feels matter.
See, I think everything has its obverse, or its inverse. And like the beauty of a watch like this Maurice de Mauriac Rally Master.
This is nuts. I don't think I've seen this.
It's a beautiful watch, actually. There's a story here from this week that's quite cool. But I got to know the Dreyfus family in Zurich, and there's Massimo and Leonard and their father, and they were like the Royal Tenenbaums. They all dressed in Adidas tracksuits. They've got this atelier in Zurich that is this absolute cornucopia of just artifacts, and it looks like a Wes Anderson set. It's their whole life. Just they drive around in old Land Rovers, and
that's cool. What a vibe!
They're just a strong vibe, really strong vibe. But the downside is, like, you can have falling outs with people.
Yeah.
And I've had falling outs with brands and brand founders that have led to me instantly saying, I just do not want this watch.
Yep.
It's too connected to the people. So everything has its opposite truth.
For sure.
And that is that the beauty of Rolex in their ivory tower is it's never personal.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I can buy a Rolex and get great enjoyment. I can sell it without any sense of obligation.
Yep.
And there's something just quite singular and separated about a Rolex that I like that impersonal nature. The reason they barely humanize their watches with ambassadors, and when they do, that's their only weak point.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think? But then I think the way they curate ambassadors is very singular as well. I mean, you look at Roger Federer. I can't think of a more perfect ambassador. Why would you not want to be like Roger Federer?
I do want to be like
You know
Roger
what I mean?
Federer.
Like, all of their ambassadors are very, I think.
I want his backhand. The rest he can have. He can have Mercer and the kids. I've got everything else. Just want his backhand.
Fair. I mean, I think I'd probably take a few million as well, but if you just want the backhand.
I'd take his stake in ON as well, his shoe
that
company.
was nuts, wasn't it?
That's bigger than his whole career in
wearing that. Do you remember when he went from Nike to On, and that was it? Like, he just blew that brand up.
And Uniqlo, actually. He went from Nike to Uniqlo, and then he invested in On. So he's a smart guy. Hi, Roger. I want from Roger, I want one thing from Roger. I just want him to come and play table tennis with me in New York. So I'm manifesting this.
Right, but it's been said. It's going to happen. It's been said.
My answer is my connection is Stan. Anyway, that's another. I've got a bit of an imaginary vision board, and I
think that's important, having one.
It is.
You know, just again coming back to clarity of what you want out of something.
Well, you just speak things into existence. Like, there's just certain things that I've said enough times to somehow it creates this. I can speak things into existence.
And it makes it real.
It works.
I love that. Manifestation, I think they call that.
Well, I don't want to go there. I don't want to be one of those guys. But I'll talk about this watch, though. This is the Rally Master. They've done one for each of the tennis. This is a good segue, actually, Roger Federer. So this is a tennis-themed watch.
Yeah,
it's designed by an LA creative. I think you're LA, Carlton. But Carlton DeWoody is this insane, amazing graphic designer who took the tennis theme and just went to town with it, but in such a tasteful way. There's a net across the middle. This is separated into the amount of time you get to serve before you're penalised. It's actually quite helpful. There's
like a regatta timer for tennis.
A little bit, yeah. And you can just glance down and see if you're infringing. Djokovic needs one of these because he always does. But he's done one for the US Open.
Okay.
He's done one for Roland Garros, which is pink, which is a really cool one. This one's for Wimbledon because it's green. And we are going to be doing one for the Australian Open.
There it is. There it is.
In January. Russell Crowe's already bought number
Stop
4.
It.
No, number 7.
Is that his number or something?
I don't know what it is, but he wore this watch at the Zurich Film Festival this week. He crashed. This is how much of a geek Russell is, which I know because we worked with Russell. This is a very strange story. Russell got divorced.
Oh, he sold loads of watches,
Russell
didn't he?
had a lot of watches, and then he did an auction called The Art of Divorce.
No, is that what it was called?
And Time and Tide was we were his PR agency for this. That he said, he told his agent, I need like a watch website to help me sell these watches. I need watch geeks to know about these watches. So he contacted us. Sotheby's in Sydney's contacted us and said, hey, Andrew, like Time and Tide's the biggest watch website in Australia. I'm like, without doubt.
Yeah, let's go.
And he said, so we need, Russell's going to supply voiceover stories of all of his watches, and then you're going to do a video, and then you can film them.
What a surreal moment!
It's totally surreal, but also just listening to Russell's voiceovers, just like the best whiskey for your ears.
Yeah.
The caramel, the richness, the sweetness, the resonance, the age.
Did you feel like you were in Gladiator, or?
Oh, his voice is way, but in Gladiator he's kind of gruff. But he luxuriated over every syllable of this voiceover for these watches. And the watches went on to sell very well. We became connected. I went to Rome for the first time. He connected me with all these people to go and see and restaurants and so on. And it all just escalated from there.
Yeah.
I delivered a watch to him when he played here 6 months ago.
Oh my gosh.
There's footage of me going to...
Yeah, I think you posted about it, right?
I did, yeah. I just didn't post what watch it was, and I will never.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a good mate, but he has now gotten behind. Leonard said, if you're ever in Zurich, come and do a workshop with us, because they run workshops in this little atelier. So he didn't tell him he was coming. He turned up in Zurich for the Zurich Film Festival, went to a workshop with other people, didn't shut it down, just sat there and did a workshop with other people.
Yeah.
Loved this watch, wore it that night at Zurich Film Festival, and now has ordered, loves the look of the Australian one, and has ordered one of those, and will be at our event in Australia.
That's insane.
When we launch it. So it's a cool story, but again, these watches are just a platform for
100%
for me to just
live that life.
Live that life.
Live that life.
But also just like, what a cool thing. And again, Russell's authenticity around loving watches is just unquestioned. He turned up just as a punter and did this workshop, and I thought that was cool.
Again, but we said that, right? The watches are special, not the thing itself. You said it, the value of it, or the money you pay, everything feels inhibitive at the time.
Yeah.
You know, the first 50 quid, 100 quid, 5 grand.
Oh God. And
you
then
get to 30 grand.
Yeah.
And it all just ultimately becomes a thing. And you know, it's a great privilege to be able to do those. But ultimately, when you boil it down, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
But when you look at that thing, you've got this really cool
they're noble
feeling.
things. They're not just, see, the difference is I have a huge differentiation between watches as things and all the other things. This thing is made for 2 seasons, maybe 3, maybe 1, depending.
Yeah.
Most things we have, you know, planned obsolescence. This is made for 1 use. Our phones are made for about 18 months, and everything is made to be replaced. I think these are noble things. And if I'm going to live my life around things, these things may well appear have a long timeline.
Something that theoretically lasts forever.
Theoretically, well, this is my wife's watch.
Okay.
This is my wife's watch as well, but I love to wear her Nomos Orion Rosé, which has applied 5N rose gold indexes and 5N rose gold handset. I think is it a gold crown? No, this one has a gold crown. This one's a rose gold crown. I get mixed up, but this is another fall adjacent watch. But again, I love these brands that we're representing. I would love Nomos to join the studio. I would love them to watch this and realize that it's totally legitimate. This is a little...
You're not just like a shed in London.
No, come and see us. Emily's here. It must be real. So Nomos to me is a brand that, again, they're the sort of brands that inspired me to do this because, you know, again, all of these things that bigger brands put a huge premium on, in-house movements. For there to be in-house, you know, assembly. Nomos has just been doing this forever. With their own movement innovations like the swing system. So again, fantastic brand, but also just to me a sign of the sort of watch that will just get a lot of wear from me under the radar.
And well priced as well.
Really, I mean,
Nomos were crazy. I remember being at uni. I had literally no money. In fact, I had so much debt. I'm still, you know, that student debt is still accumulating. But they did a club campus. And they geared it all around graduation.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I sort of, it was such good marketing. And I used to play and like put the engraving on the back. I think it was like 800 quid or something. And I told myself, I'm going to get one. I'm going to, and it eventually just never happened. And I got so far past the point of graduation when I could finally afford a watch. That never happened. And I sort of have a tug that.
And you know, I never got one either. And that's why I ended up getting one. I really liked this Amsterdam edition that had this super high contrast, like dark blue and orange. That was like an Ace Jewelers edition. I liked that one. So I ended up getting one way later. But I wanted one, and my brother got one. My younger brother got one before me.
That's cool.
And I remember just thinking, damn you, how did you? But then going to the manufacturer, and again, there are a couple of manufacturers that that are just watch tourism heaven. AP, going to Automapiguet in Le Brassus.
Let's manifest that for me, please.
You're a lock for that.
Please.
Let's make that happen. Number 2, Nomos in Glashütte is this. They bought the train station in Glashütte and made that into the manufacturer. Cool. There's a horse that visits in summer. There's a big. They've got a window that the horse can come and put its head through in summer. So when it's this beautiful bucolic European summer, it's just a great and integrated company as well. So you can visit all aspects of the watchmaking process. It's brilliant. And there's only one person that does that solarization on the barrel. It's very hard to do this particular movement decoration, which creates this almost like a pinwheel firework effect. It's brilliant. So again, accessible watchmaking, super serviceable,
and well done,
well executed, thoughtful details.
The finishing's great.
The company has a culture that is very German. and very peculiar, but I like it.
When you get to a certain price point of your own collection, it's easy to forget. But actually, the reality is that there's magic everywhere across the spectrum.
Oh, absolutely. And on the table, to me, there's magic here because, again, you've got this brilliant, very non-watch style. I love this design.
It is cool, yeah.
And again, not skimping on details, having a gold handset, having a gold crown. And then this, I've picked out this Farrér just because it is the British tank. It's the British, if there's one brand that exemplifies the Queen in gumboots or a Defender, it's Farrér.
Okay.
Farrér is
British culture.
It just doesn't truck with your tiny watch. It's here. It's this. This is a manually wound Monopusher Chronograph GMT.
That's actually ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous. It's the most absurd.
And what are the price there?
It's. I mean, nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted this. What's the price? Who can? George, how much is the cob?
That's nuts.
£2,000.
Yeah, okay.
See, I'm shocked by that. And look, and again, I'm a visually not technically driven person.
Oh, okay, I think it was very different that way.
I want the bi-axis tourbillon because I want to tell people about it.
Right, okay.
And I want to share the story of it.
Because that's technical, right? I don't think you could...
Wildly technical.
Yeah.
How does this thing that is purely mechanical move on different planes
It's wild.
at the same time?
It's enchanting, isn't it, when you look at it?
Absolutely mesmerizing. Whereas this is... Again, this is the movement's functional but visible, and they've done a little bit of movement decoration on that main plate.
But an honest question for you.
Yeah, sure.
How do you now, as a watch collector at first, and then you've got Time and Tide, which is a commercial endeavour, and you are, I think, journalist.
I'm not a watch collector.
Okay, we can come. How do you balance the commercial, the obvious stuff that you have to publish about watches? Between your honest opinion on stuff. How do you find that balance? Because I think that's a lot of criticism, even I get sometimes. People will say, well, you're nice about everything, or, you know the comments. How do you balance that on a personal level?
You build a team big enough to be able to push the things you don't like to other people. So Zach, Jamie, Russell, my 3 editors, interestingly, between the 4 of us, we cover all.
You do. You've got a good breadth.
There's not many watches there'll be certain brands that we will just black ban. If there's an objection, if no one of the 4 want to cover it, we won't take it.
That's huge. I love that. Genuinely love that.
And you look at Russell. Russell's into tiny vintage. Jamie's into big sports watches. Zach's into, I'd say, he's really just into, as a single man with no dependents, he's wildly irresponsible and able to buy Creedor and Lange, and I mean he's shopping in the mahogany room.
He's enjoying it.
Yeah, he's just, it's Zach's world, and he can have whatever he wants. So across that spectrum, we cover all. But then the other thing is, and I won't present to camera ever if I can't look someone in the eye and talk about it.
Okay, yeah.
So there won't be a video where I'm, maybe there have been over the years as we've had to grow, where I sort of go into more of a workman-like, I'm presenting this watch to you. Yeah. I'm just pretty easy to read, I think.
Do you think?
And the enthusiasm, it's not something that just gets turned on like a showmanship.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, we see something for an hour and then have to present on it. So you don't get that like Wordsworth emotion recollected in tranquility. You don't get that ability or that grace to build an emotion towards something. It's just like, hey Andrew, here's a new AP. That's an entirely new chronograph movement. There's like a script style logo.
Beautiful. That was insane.
And go. And I'm just trying to not fuck up the details. So this is again, you don't cry poor, I don't want sympathy, and I don't want to make excuses for watch journalists, but we don't get time to feel things. Therefore, if things seem inauthentic because you're just presenting it back to camera, that is our job. And that is
exactly.
So again, no excuses, but I definitely won't look you in the eye and tell you I love a watch if I don't. I won't lie, but I also sometimes wish I could go and redo and say, I think this is one of the watches of the year. This is an incredible achievement.
The thing I try and remember, genuinely, because I feel it, is it's always with good intention. That is it. Like everything you put out there, when it's on a personal level, certainly on a personal Instagram, stuff like that, even if there's a commercial angle, it's not dirty. You can have a commercial angle and do it right.
I think you know when it's dirty, and some of it is dirty. There's definitely people who are doing us dirty. And you can kind of, we're humans, we can see it, and you just choose the people you get a vibe for. The truth and the veracity in what we've done since 2014, though, is that I do love about 80% of what comes out, or I have something to say about it. You can find the good in it. I have some appreciation for it. I don't have to find the good in it. I just see the good in it. Whereas I do agree with Way that it's better to, I just damn something with faint praise, or I just ignore it.
That's the best way.
I just won't present it. So, and I think that, certainly that's a way to starve a watch of its, just to not give it coverage is the harshest thing we can do. A takedown piece is likely to give it more success.
Exactly.
I don't know, there was this topic raised at Geneva Watch Days of, is watch journalism dead? And it's like, well, this discussion is redundant because there isn't a need for watch journalism in the sense that there isn't a responsibility to the world to report honestly and truthfully on a luxury product.
Correspondence.
It's like you're talking to enthusiasts who want enabling, and all of us are. No one is paid to be a truth teller in watches because the truth is actually sometimes the enemy of a lot of watch marketing.
And also, what is the truth?
Well, sometimes there are truths that are totally distorted by the watch brands. As in, they
marketing is usually
they rewrite history. They just make stuff up. It's these mythologies around watches are. There's certainly no one paying journalists to be truth tellers in watchmaking. Therefore, there never really was journalism. There's a couple of journalists that are paid by their titles whose career is not compromised if they're negative. But there's a handful of those journalists, and the rest of us are useful to the industry for different reasons. And we're here because, generally speaking, we're into these things. We're addicted to these things. We're the right people to be into it. So
no, I love that, and it's a topic dear to my heart because I genuinely see the good in it. But maybe that's my flaw, is that I always see the good in people, and it's just good fun. I think we all sometimes if you just remember it's good fun.
But I still when I watch your content, I only want to see you telling me about something that really turns you on. I don't want you to be trying to find the good in something. You'll
talk to Justin and it'll be like talking to like a crazy person who's high energy on everything and you're just like, whoa. Or you'll speak to X person, you get a different thing. Like I love genuinely the thing I'm really interested in the person. Like I said, one of the things I really remember about you is the video or the image with Justin with the biceps. Controversial but brilliant. And the second one though is this concept of no days off. Now I don't know if anyone knows this, Olympic weightlifting and rugby were my two sports. They were like,
let me tell you, I'm going to look down this camera and say, if you ever get a hug from this lady, you get a realignment. I got a hug when you came in, and I feel so realigned.
Do you feel good?
Cracked. It was amazing.
It was my gift to you.
You're so fucking strong. You are an animal.
I was just excited to see you.
I think you and Justin would seriously go pound for pound.
Yeah, I think I'd win, actually.
I think you would. I want to see this. This could be a charity match. I can get some brands around this.
We could do a bench off. That would be quite good. I'm actually, to tell you the complete truth.
You could bench him.
Anyway, before I get too many crazy ideas, one of the and I should confess as well, I'm not. I was all right at rugby because I don't mind running into people, but the running got me. I'm a non-functional. Like, give me a heavy squat, heavy deadlift. Like really non-functional.
That's the shortest way to get there.
But the thing I sort of get from you is you're the other way, which is actually working out is more than hey I can bench whatever.
No,
it feels like part of you,
do the heavy
like
things,
a passionate thing.
Well, it's more, I just had to find a way to power the life that I've created now. I need to be an energy source every day that the team plug into, that the business plugs into, that the family plugs into. I need to show up every day for a big group of people. And I was a drinker before.
Okay, what do you mean by that, a drinker?
I just would self-medicate, the stress of life, the stress of having 3 kids under 3, the stress of the business. I just loved it, and there's always events, and I'd get home, my wife and I would connect over a couple of glasses of wine. Never problematic, but it was just, that was my energy source, or that was my crutch for what at that time I thought was, because there's an idiom around drinking of, tough day, need a drink.
You see it in the movies as well, right?
Absolute worst thing to do. If you want to power your life, you need to find another energy source. And while I still drink, and I still love it, I drink once a week.
You took a bit of time off though, didn't you? I remember that.
I did a dry July that extended a bit because I found that I was powering up. I could just feel this, I was getting new green bars, like way beyond anywhere I'd ever gone. And I was like, this is interesting. So I powered up as long as I could, then realized that your cortisol level doesn't get reduced if you don't find a way to disconnect. Meditation didn't work, so I started, I just worked it back in slowly, and now I'm at this perfect level where it can add to and elevate moments, and I love it for that. Right. But the non-negotiable is that every morning or every day there'll be, I'll either do, 18 minutes or 30 minutes, and that's all.
It's time set?
It's time set. So it's 1 minute on, 30 seconds off for 2 different time frames, depending on the amount of time I have. So this morning, meeting you at 9, and I was up at 7 or 6:30 or whatever after a bit of, wake up cuddles and stuff with the kids. 18 minutes, shower.
Jeez.
Chiswick Park to Victoria to Oxford Circus to a new cafe owned by some Turkish people around the corner called Chrono Stop, I think it's called. It's got a bit of a watch twist, and then into you. But it's just become an energy source for the demands of my day. And it's just a cool Da Vinci Code to have cracked this late in life. Because when you're in an honest moment, maybe on a plane, and you're like, what do I need to change about my life? It was always, I knew I needed to drink less, and I knew I wanted to be fitter, and as fit as I could be. And
I love that your pecs just tensed as you said that.
That was involuntary, but you're going to make me, you embarrass me.
Set out love.
I did. I discovered a Da Vinci Code that I won't bore you with, but there's definitely a big part of it is just once you form a habit for 28 days, it starts to carry you, and I don't have to try anymore because it's been years of doing this thing. And the amazing thing about a positive change is it has all of these other repercussions. Yeah. So once you've done one thing and created one really positive habit, other things just fall into place. You do just naturally eat better, and drink less and sleep more, and it just has this huge knock-on effect. So I encourage people, if you want to change your life, just start with one positive habit, do it for 28 days without fail, start 10 minutes a day, and that then led to, now I do it every day, and then that just expanded out. Doesn't include tennis though. Tennis is now, tennis
how often do you play tennis?
I saw Richard Branson interviewed recently, and I found it very interesting that one of the world's richest people plays so much tennis, and I just found that so aspirational. You see people on yachts, don't fucking care. See people with a Grandmaster chime, don't care. See people with islands, don't want one, maintenance, nightmare, travel, hate it. I see someone playing tennis every day. That's what I want. I want Richard Branson's life.
Well, it's freedom, right?
He's got the islands and the boats and everything else as well.
Yeah, that probably helps.
I don't care about that. But the tennis...
Just not to be too stoked, but it's freedom from stuff.
Before I went to Zurich, I woke up in a cold sweat thinking, where is my gold watch? And then I was like, which one? And I wasn't actually having a panic about any particular watch. It's just a panic about having stuff.
Yeah, and then I was like,
the only watch I have out of the safe right now is this one. Yeah. So... But it took me like an hour to get back.
It's horrible, isn't it?
So stuff is not the answer.
Yeah.
Tennis is the answer.
Tennis is the answer. There you go. It's all been solved.
Job done.
Like, that is the core of all of this. Like, stuff is not the answer. It really isn't.
No,
but
it's
passion.
Cool. It is cool. I like having stuff.
Feels good.
It's like Lisa Simpson. Do you like stuff? I like stuff. Stuff is good, but it's definitely not what drives me.
Yeah.
What drives me is the idea that one day I could play a lot of tennis every day, and at the moment I just do not play enough.
I think you should have a tennis. You could do a tennis tournament or something.
Well, I'll give you another exclusive.
We're raking them in today. Raking them. We're about 4 hours into this. We can't stop chatting.
We can't stop.
I love it.
By the end of it, you'll just know everything. But I do have the first bit of furniture at 460 Broome Street, Soho. Is this super sexy, blacked out table tennis table it's a co-brand, it's a niche collab with Town Tennis Centre, which is the only ground floor tennis club in Manhattan.
Oh, that's got to know that.
It's the head coach, Dante, which you should look him up, at Dial Daily. Beautiful shots. He's got an RWC Engineer green dial.
What a man.
Which you will know this guy. But we always play tennis when I'm in town, and we always play table tennis in his clubhouse, and he's like, you know what? I've got a gift for you from Town Tennis Centre.
Stop it.
It's a table tennis table, blacked out though, so
That's cool.
super sick. Like on one side there's the Time and Tide logo, on the other side there's the Town Tennis Centre logo. So the first thing we're doing in New York is tennis related.
You're living your dream. You are living your dream, which I think is the...
It isn't a full court, but I'll table tennis I'm just as obsessed with. So,
really?
Yeah, 100%. Oh my God.
I genuinely
played, we had a work function, like a team building exercise, and me and Tim just went ham on each other. We didn't socialise.
It brings out the worst. You know?
Let's go, get a little shot of this guy.
Tim, did you win?
Am I telling the truth?
Did you?
Very competitive.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Okay.
Do anything for the pay rise. Fair enough. I feel the exact same.
So yeah, it runs through everything, and again, that's I'm just doing all of this so I can play more tennis and table tennis.
Do you know what the core of it is? It's passion, right? It's like you're living your life in an intense way, which I respect. There's nothing I love more than a bit of intensity. Like
you're a madman. That's like the euphemism way. You're living your life in an intense way.
No, but I mean it. It is the ultimate compliment, and that is the whole reason for all of this. And I cannot think of a more perfect.
Can you tell me about your code before you?
I did try to wrap it up. It's 4
No, I'm
not
letting you wrap
thing.
up until you
We're
tell
not
me
wrapping
about
up.
that.
We're not wrapping up.
The
you know
interviewer
what?
and me's just said, hang on a second, we've left something on the table.
I have been on a journey with AP. So when I
Is that the brand you were talking about before?
I can't confirm or deny. When I went to university, graduated university, it wasn't that long ago. It was actually the year the code came out, 2019. And I remember being on a train to I was a management consultant, some random corner of England. And I was like, oh, this is really cool, because I quite like things that are a bit different. But I couldn't afford it. I had like minus 100 quid or something. But I've really enjoyed watching the evolution. I bought the Royal Oak, the 50th anniversary in 2022 on December the 22nd. Really intense. Yep. I drained all my bank accounts, went into all my overdrafts.
How did you get that?
Honestly, don't know.
That's amazing.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And then I got too much attention when I was out and about. I didn't like wearing it. But then the code for me over the years has really evolved, and it's just been my birthday quite recently. And I love, you look at the convex, concave on the glass. I love that it looks circular, but it's not, it's hexagonal.
I know.
Right?
You're getting that Royal Oak mid case.
You're getting the Royal Oak mid case, the drilled lugs, everything about it is architectural.
Lugs.
And do you know what really got me? The final thing that got me was the dial. So you think of the Royal Oak, you think tapisserie dial.
You need an engraved dial.
So that dial for me with the concentric circles really set, and they got rid of the numerals, and it's in steel, which I love. I thought, I gotta have it. That for me is a watch that I've only had about 2 weeks.
The trick you need to do is with this crystal is to tilt it so that you see it. It turns into like a, what's it, Escher design? It just looks, you can just see all of these.
It's nuts, isn't it?
It's wild.
It's like, do you know what it is? I leave you on this. It's all the things we moan about in the watch world, rinse and repeat, new dial, whatever. Okay, you've got a brand new caliber, brand new movement, steel case that looks circular.
Rose gold rotor, so you get a little bit of precious metal.
Exactly, right. It's actually a nod to the Royal Oak. It's, I think, architecturally interesting watch.
It looks cool.
Completely different.
Yeah, well
For
done.
me, I was well into buying that. And I think coming back to evolution of collections, that's where I'm at the minute.
Yeah.
Is I'm not buying things that I think I should have, but I'm buying things that set my soul on fire.
Look how good it looks on your wrist. Just do that.
Look at that. Look at that side profile. But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Keep bringing the fresh energy. Love it.
Well, I've got to bring the 3755 back out of it. But thank you so much, Mr. Andrew McUtchen. Go on, flex. Go on. Look at that bicep. I squeezed as hard as I could. I did. Thank you so much.
There you go, Justin. That's how you do it.